First, let me introduce myself. My name is Hayden Baker. I'm here today to talk to you about the 650S. My role here at McLaren is I'm the head of vehicle line, but my specific role in the project is I was both the project manager and the chief engineer. The project itself has taken just shy of 18 months. However, we did utilize the full McLaren development process, which, for a full vehicle, can be up to as long as 4 years. However, we achieved this in under 18 months. After a couple of months of pre-planning, we kicked off the project in September 2012, and as I speak right now, the first cars are going down the line. During that process, the first stage of that process is the styling sign-off, and that's one of the biggest areas that we've fixed on this car, as you can see with the front end of the vehicle, taking the styling from the P1, including the lights, and this whole new front end, which is mirrored then with the back end of the car. And we did that process we completed that in December 2012, which was only 3 months after the official kickoff of the project, which is a phenomenally quick time compared to a normal 12-month program that we would do for a full vehicle. And as soon as we had signed off that styling, we ran towards building mules and taking them to Sweden for cold weather testing, getting the cars running for powertrain durability. Took us through to a build at the middle of last year. Took the cars to Dubai for hot weather testing, and that brings us then to December, then when we built the first PP cars, and we've just seamlessly gone into production. In terms of the change content, we changed roughly 450 parts, which is about a third of the vehicle. A standard vehicle is about 1,300 bought out finished parts, and we've changed 450 of them. Some of them are very, very visual, like the front end of the car, where we have new bumpers, splitters, which come in different options, headlights. Down the side of the car, we have door side skirts. But also, there's a lot of cosmetic beauty we've brought to the car. But underneath the car, we have made lots of changes also. The whole cooling system has been revamped in the LTR circuit at the front of the car. We've got bigger LTRs, and in the side intakes we've got larger radiators to allow for the cooling of the increased horsepower that we've brought to the car. But also, we've taken an opportunity with this facelift to increase the threshold that we sign off and test our cars, and that drove us down to get more cooling into the car, and the radiators on the side have actually been angled to get more airflow into them. As we come around to the interior of the vehicle, you'll see that we have a much more opulent space for both driver and passenger. We've done this through both inclusive and optional extras. And the optional extras include Alcantara steering wheel, electric steering column, and carbon trim in doors and rear trim. Yeah, also we've introduced a sport seat, which is a trickle down from P1, and we've upgraded Iris. Iris now includes digital radio across the planet, DAB in Europe and Sirius in federal markets. We've also added a rear view camera, which automatically comes on whenever you put the car into reverse, and is an optional application in certain markets. As I previously mentioned, the side intake has been restyled, but this is not simply a styling feature. This has been designed to get more airflow into the car to cool the 650 extra 25 horsepower that we have. And to manage to do that, we've had to rotate. We've made the radiators larger, wider, and rotate them, and then put it on this aero feature to get more air into the system. Whilst I'm here talking about chassis components, it's wrong not to talk about the change in the handling settings. So our standard normal sport and track settings have all been moved slightly to make a more engaging chassis setup for the vehicle. A few other additions that we've brought to the vehicle from a chassis perspective. Our carbon ceramic brakes are standard. We have a new option wheel. The Pirelli Corsa tyres come as standard, but the customers do have the option, the no-cost option, to revert back to the standard P0 tyres. As I come to the back of the vehicle, the improved styling theme continues for the full circumference of the vehicle, encompassing a new three-piece bumper, which comes standard as Palladium as the rest of the vehicle, but has the uplift of the carbon option. And also the air brake now comes as standard carbon for the vehicle. It's wrong not to talk about the powertrain when you're at the back of the vehicle with the engine staring right at me. And as I previously said, we've uplifted the powertrain by 25 horsepower to 650 PS, but also to 678 Newton meters, which is available throughout the range and makes a significant difference to the driving experience of the car. And coupled with everything else I've talked about, with the Corsa tyres, the improved handling settings, the powertrain, it really makes the S a fantastic vehicle, a driving vehicle to achieve those acceleration targets and increase lap times that we've been striving for. So in my role, I'm very fortunate that I get to drive the car all the way through the development phase. So the first time that I got to drive the car was on a frozen lake in Arjeplog last March, and that moved on to VP. And when we got to the VP phase, we were in Dubai, where I also drove the car out in the very hot climate. But the best memory for me of driving the car was the first time we had the Corsa tyres and the chassis setup, and coupled with the power of the vehicle out in Idiada in Spain. It really was a sensational moment as the difference that we were bringing to this car, and a truly exciting time, knowing that we were going to deliver this, what was a development exercise at that time, to the car. And I can confirm that we've absolutely gone beyond that of keeping that excitement, of everyone that drove the car at that time, but also hitting all those performance targets, which I'm really looking forward to the day that customers get into the car and hopefully will be repeating those words that I've just said.